was telling me, this former Nazi, he didn't know how I got out of that. Not, but he was saying it has to be something. He kept pinning because I would never tell him in the beginning that I was Muslim. I wouldn't tell him no. He was, and then I would go and leave for prayer and then come back, see him between prayer times, different times in Cape Town, in South Africa. So, so the thing is, he was saying it has to be something to do with another force, another religion, not only applying to me, but to break away from this structure, this pseudo global financial repressive structure, which is linked to fascism. And he would talk about it. He said something to do with another faith, another type of enlightenment, not the contemporary dogmatic religions that's being sold. It's got to be something else. And he didn't know that it actually was Islam that was guiding me out of the Hidayat. Even the people here with the free sex culture, and you could have a girl and stuff like that. And the woman I met the other day, and she could come and hug on me, and and her nipples were hard. But then after knowing her for all these months or these weeks, she's now a full-time employee with a charity organization. She said, "Yeah, but I got her to ask without being direct. You cook at home." Because people I know, they eat out a lot. I started with the periphery of eating out and then went circular and insular into eating out and then cooking. And do you cook at home? Yeah, she said, I cook, yeah, for me. And by yourself, or you cook by yourself? Some way I framed the question. And then she said, yeah, I cook for me and my boyfriend. And he said, ooh, see, and she told my boyfriend maybe for years, long time. And she's already of adult age to get married. So people don't jump into getting married here. So it's easy, despite the human beauty. I'm not saying dark-skinned women are not. There are some incredible, like a Lupita Nyong'o, the woman that played the Commander Payless in the Hunger Games. Beautiful dark women, man. The dark woman upon the dark man is very hard to get. She's very hard on the dark-colored man because she knows that if the dark-colored man becomes financially insolvent, the world will disrespect her, and the first thing they'll go for is what's between her legs, to dishonor what's between her legs. She knows that. Yeah, what's between that? She knows that, and she can't afford the darker man to become insolvent. She can't afford that. No, she can't afford that. She knows it's finished. Yeah, like the darker man gets disrespect, but it's not like the darker woman who gets raped, who gets assaulted, or who has to open her legs and submit to thrusting by somebody she doesn't like, maybe of a lighter hue, or not even about complexion, but somebody who hurt her when he's banging her. Dog and stuff like that, and somebody cruel or whatever. Yeah, she has to submit herself to that. If the man. So what's happening is this fascist structure is making the darker colored man, especially the ones that give him challenge. Like me, I am also a Cancerian, what they call crabby here. Robert Mercer is too. Donald Trump is on the cusp of that. Of Cancerian. We are able to challenge, work with each other, or offer competitive challenge, meaning not against each other, but if they have something, I can offer a better product. Or just as good. Larry Ellison, also he's Leo type of guy, but out of that orbit of Cancer, these people they do very well. Mark Cuban and all that, they do very, very well if we have women in our lives or marry somebody. Yeah, we do very well. Without marriage, we tend to flounder. We flounder and we also dissipate. We deteriorate. So that being said, though I'm digressing into a lot of things which seem nonsensical, trying to make myself more significant, but at the same time not to render myself totally insignificant and irrelevant, this is what happens when you're deprived of family. Yeah, when you're deprived family, this is what happens. And the Muslims think that they're not culpable, and they think this is the will of Allah. God wants this poverty. This is what the Christian man was saying. God doesn't want this for you to be forever. God doesn't, he wants you to be joyous under the light, under the reign of Christ. He doesn't want you to be miserable for the rest of your life. But then what's the practical offer? Then you could work for the ministry and volunteer. And eventually, then God may help you and open up doors. People are tired of hearing that, man. What God may do. That's why man is put here as a vice urgent. Ask Bob. Create the fucking system. Create the structure, man. They're talking about what God may and may not do. I don't know. And I'm yelling. I don't know what God is doing on the throne and above the creation. I don't know. I'm not privy. See, this is his food stuff that he likes. So, and I'm digressing again. I don't know. That's not none of my business, man. It's not, man. But I would hope God would send down some kind of help. But what the Christian man was yelling at me, he was telling me, one evening, which the conversation I might find it, he was telling me that what has God done for you in the 30 years you've been Muslim, the decades. You're still living like the way you were when you first became Muslim. And this means what intelligence may have been fed to this man. Yeah, people that have been observing me all of that time, about almost 30 years, observing me, looking for extremism. They're looking for black anger against whites. They're seeing that I don't have to see this white chocolate, which is not mine here, and it's been sitting for days outside. It may not be good to give anybody. I got to throw it away out. Yep, this is what Mansour bought, because Mansour Pakistani, he's comfortable. He's very comfortable. But what he has decided in himself, he's not going to give me any more money. No more cash. Yeah. You know, the cash thing is dried up. Like I said, he's already spent about over 1,000 euros on me. Maybe like 1,300 euros. We'll do a tally because he's done this a few times. These here, I gave it to the Russian guy, but these are hard. And I love these with coffee. If I have the luxury to be able to have my place and have coffee and have store it. See, I don't have any refrigerator and any storage or preservation ability for food. I don't have any of that. I have no access to any of that. You know, so food, when it's given to me, like he gave me when they had the church dinner last night, this food, before it became leftovers, he gave it to me fresh so I could have something to walk home, because I was not depressed. I was melancholy. There's a difference between melancholy. See, this is fish cooked with the batter. I'm not really a fan of the batter. My tastes are very simple. Yeah, and Islam fits right in accordance with a lot of my tastes. Sort of like greasy South Asian food. I love it. And certain African foods, type of cooking, I love it. Somali food, I'm crazy for it. Somali food, Yemenis food, Senegalese, not really Senegalese, West African, Tanzanian food, type of cooking, the pilau. See, all of this is batter. See, I could use less of that. That's batter. It's not really even fish. Not really my type of thing. So I've already calculated. Like one fan role model that I archetype off of is Leonard Nimoy's character, Mr. Spock. With logic, even though I have a sexual randiness. Cancerians do, like a Camilla Park Rose or Prince Charles's wife, the woman that he always hankered after, even with Diana, or her large penniless breasts. Very strong sexual desire. Cancerian people, especially like Angela Merkel also. And it's a very quintessential part to your creativity. Robert Mercer too. Yeah, very, very important part. Bismillah wallahu akhiru. That means because I forgot to do it in the beginning. So, if you repress that and you deny them that, yeah, they tend to wither out. Because a lot of their creativity and their potential and their ability to contribute or whatever is linked with that. You see what I'm saying? With marriage, with being married and having their sexual outlet. So when people have a disrespect of you as a nigger or as an inferior slave, you know, they said, you know, it's quiet slave, you know, quiet, you know, shut up, human property, trash, you know, stuff like that. Then they will refer you to women that are trash. Or women that were thought to be trash, like whores, prostitutes kind of women, women that can't do any, women that don't pray, that have no inclination to worship God. Astaghfirullah, you know, things like that, man. Yeah, things like that. I seek refuge in Allah, stuff like that, man. And I'm gonna go into a minute about the Facebook paradigm, which I intend to get off of Facebook. I despise Facebook. Yeah, I really do.